Welcome back, Algebra 1. Today we are going to talk about graphing linear inequalities. So the very first thing we need to do is we need to talk about the symbols and what they mean and what they look like on the graph. So you've seen these symbols before. The first one is less than or equal to. But now we're going to actually draw a line that is less than or equal to. So that type of line is going to be a solid line because it includes it. And we're going to shade below the line. Our next symbol is less than. Because it does not include the line, the symbol less than, it's going to be a dashed line. And we're still going to shade below because it's less. Greater than or equal to is going to be a solid line. So anytime it's got the equals to, it's a solid line because that means it can include any of the points on that line. But greater than, we're shading above the line. And I'll explain what this shading means in a second. And then our last symbol is greater than, and that's going to be a dashed line. And our shading is also above. So let's go on ahead and let's work some problems. And I'll show you how this works. Okay, so the first thing here, we have an equation, y is less than negative 2 over 3x plus 7, which is very similar to a line. Y equals negative 2 over 3x plus 7. So we're actually just going to graph that line first. So my first step, I need my y-intercept, which remember is always an x value of 0, and then it's that number right there. So that's my first point on my y-axis, 0, 7. Then my slope is negative 2 over 3. That means I'm going to go down 2 and right 3. So down 1, 2, right 1, 2, 3. Down 2, right 1, 2, 3. Down 2, right 1, 2, 3. Okay, but this is where our dashed or solid lines and our shading comes in. So this is actually a y is less than. Okay, so that means that this is going to be a dashed line. And since it's less than, it's going to be shaded below the line. Okay, so I'm going to draw my line in here, dashed with arrows on both ends. And then I'm going to shade below it. And to check to see if I'm right on this, I can plug in a point. Okay. I'm going to plug in the point 0, 0. That's always the easiest point to plug in if you can. Okay. So if I plug the point 0, 0 in, that's now my x and my y value. So I'm going to go back to my original equation. Everywhere I see a y, I'm going to plug in 0. And that's just a less than. Everywhere I see an x, I'm going to plug in 0. And then I'm just going to solve it. So 0, negative 2 thirds times 0 is 0. Okay. And that's going to be 7. So is 0 less than 7? That is correct. So really anywhere where we've shaded makes this scenario up here true. Okay. Anywhere we've left blank is false. That's where it wouldn't work. So you would get something like, I don't know, 21 is less than 7, which is untrue, which is false. Okay, so where we're shading is where this is true. So let's go on ahead and let's look at a second problem here. So I'm going to graph this line first. So I need my y-intercept. My y-intercept is 0, negative 6. And my slope, which is always with my x, is 3 over 4. So 0, negative 6. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 over 4, up 3 over 4. It's greater than, which means it's going to be a dashed line. It does not include it. And we're shading above it because it's greater than. Now I'm just going to plug my point in, 0, 0, and check. So anywhere I see a y, I'm going to plug a 0 in. So 0 is greater than, and anywhere I see an x, I'm going to plug a 0 in. Okay, so 0 is greater than negative 6. Is that true? Yes, that is true. 0 is bigger than negative 6. And I've shaded at 0, 0, so I know that I'm correct. Let's go on ahead and graph the solution for this next problem. So y is greater than or equal to 3x minus 5. So I'm going to start the same way. Okay, I'm going to find my y-intercept, 0, negative 5. And my slope here is my 3 or 3 over 1. So 0, negative 5, and I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 over 1, 1, 2, 3 over 1, 1, 2, 3 over 1. And it's greater than or equal to, so that's going to be a solid line. It's not a very straight line, I know. Okay. And because it's greater than, I'm shading above the line. Okay. So I'm going to check to double check and make sure that I've shaded in the correct area. And once again, I could choose any point, but I'm going to see, is 0, 0 a solution? So is 0, 0 a solution? That's really what I'm doing here. So now I'm going to plug 0 in for y. I'm going to plug 0 in for x, and I get 0 is greater than or equal to negative 5. Is that true? Yes, it is, which means it is a solution. Okay, and it's in the true area. The next one says graph the solution for y is less than or equal to negative x plus 4. So I'm going to find my y-intercept, which is 0, 4. And my slope, that's a negative, so that's negative 1 over 1. So 0, 4, and from there I'm going to go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, okay, and keep going. It's less than or equal to, which means it's a solid line. And I'm going to shade below it. So now I'm going to try a test point. This time, you know what? I am going to go with the point 6, 4. Okay, so I'm going to go with the point 6, 4. Is 6, 4 a solution? So anywhere I see a y, I'm going to plug 4 in. And anywhere I see an x, I'm going to plug 6 in. Okay, so now I'm just going to solve this. So it says 4 is less than or equal to negative 2. Is that true? No. Okay, so this point is not a solution. And you can see it's in the unshaded area. It's in the false area. Okay. Now we have a couple of more problems to look at. They're just a little bit different. These ones, they're still equations of lines, but you'll notice this is not in slope-intercept form right now. So the first thing I need to do is get this into slope-intercept form. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So I get negative 3y is greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 6. And I always put my x's first so that it's in that y equals mx plus b format. I'm not quite done yet. I need to now divide every single term by negative 3, which means I'm left with my y. I divided by a negative number, so that inequality symbol has to change. And then that's going to be positive 2/3 x, and 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2. Remember, anytime you multiply or divide by a negative number, the inequality symbol has to flip. So now let's go on ahead and find our value. So our y-intercept is 0, negative 2. And our slope is 2 over 3. So I'm going to plot the point 0, negative 2. I'm going to go up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, down 2, back 3. And it's less than or equal to. So it includes it, which means it's a solid line. And I'm shading below it. Okay, so now I'm going to plug in my old favorite point, 0, 0, and I'm going to plug it into the original equation. Okay. So 2 times 0. So anywhere I see an x, I'm going to plug in 0, and anywhere I see a y, I'm going to plug in 0. Minus 3 times 0 is greater than or equal to 6. So there I get 0 is greater than or equal to 6. Okay. Is that true? No, that is false. But 0, 0 in this case is in the false area. It's not shaded, so I know that my graph is correct. Going ahead and try this last one. So same thing here. I have to get the y all by itself. So my very first step is always to subtract my x's from both sides. So that's going to be negative 2y is less than negative x minus 4. Now I'm going to divide every single term by -2. So that's going to become y. My sign has to flip. What is this right here? Well, remember that that's really -1 over -2x. So that's going to be a 1/2 x. And -4 divided by -2 is +2. So now I'm going to have a +2 here. And from there, I'm going to go, so my y-intercept, sorry, is 0, 2. And my slope is 1/2. So I'm going to go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. And it's a greater than, which means it's a dashed line because it does not include the line. And I'm shading y is greater than, so I'm shading above the line. Pen's running out there. Right, and now I'm going to plug in the point 0, 0 and see if it works. Is it a solution? According to my graph, it should not be. It should be this should be false. I'm going to plug it back into the original equation, or the original inequality. So 0 minus 2 times 0 is less than -4. So 0 less than -4, that is not correct. And that point was in the not correct or the false area. So we know it's not a solution. All right. Make sure that you ask questions and have a great day.